Hey guys, welcome to JP's LEGO Reviews, and this is the final installment of the LEGO investing series, How to Invest in LEGO. So, here's the question. What do you do with your LEGO investment after you purchased the LEGO set? Now, you've gone through all the necessary criteria and you bought your set, or maybe it's sets. What do you do with them? Well, let's break it down. Firstly, this is just the outline of what will actually be discussed in the video. Firstly, where do you store the LEGO set? To open or not to open? Do you open or not open the LEGO box that you bought the set in? How long do you need to wait until you sell the LEGO set? And finally, what platform should you sell the LEGO set on? Well, let's start with, where do you store the LEGO set or investment? Well, you have to consider two things. What environment will the investment sets be in? And secondly, due to the environment the sets are in, where should you store the LEGO investment? Well, what environment do you actually live in, first up? Now, you have to consider what environment you live in. Do you actually have a storage space that you're using that is waterproof? So, if you're storing the LEGO set in, say, a wardrobe, do you know if the wardrobe is waterproof or not? Or if you're storing it, say, even in a box, do you know if a box is waterproof or not? That's an important consideration. Secondly, can things from the outside, so basically, can dust, can water easily come in to the storage space you're going to be using for the investment set? And finally, does dust often go into the area you want to store LEGO in? And also moisture too, because these things can actually slowly destroy the LEGO boxes. And the key to making sure that a LEGO investment set sells for as much as you want it to is to make sure that the boxes are nice and pristine. So going off that, well, I'm actually going to show you of an example of different things that you have to consider. And for this example, now I know this example I'm going to show isn't perfect, but I'm going to show an example of a country, the US in this case, and all the environments it has. Because depending on where you live geographically, it can actually depend on if you're in a slightly better or worse place for LEGO investing. Now, firstly, some disasters or some things that are more prone to your area, such as tornadoes, will obviously affect all storage conditions. But, interestingly, things such as snowstorms, even potentially floods and hurricanes, where mass amounts of water can come in, if you choose the right sort of storage solution, you can actually negate the effects of these disasters simply because you chose the right storage conditions. So, let's look at, as an example, with basically the north and northeast of the USA, as an example, you can actually avoid getting your LEGO sets ruined due to snowstorms or floods. And basically, the issue with snowstorms isn't the snow itself, but if there's too much snow in one place, and if it melts too fast, it'll create a flood. And floods, if it touches, or actually water in general, if it touches a LEGO set, it'll basically make the cardboard crumble, making it look really bad and basically destroying the value of your investment. But there are other weather events that will just affect every single storage condition that you can possibly think of, such as basically Texas and Florida. Unfortunately, in this case, they have a lot of tornadoes, where basically it's a big sort of wind tunnel that just rips through wherever you live. And because of this, if your LEGO investments go near the tornado, it's going to be destroyed no matter how much you try to protect it, simply because the area is literally being ripped apart by super strong winds. So in this case, tornadoes will destroy your LEGO investment anyway, but you can negate the effects of water-based disasters such as floods and snowstorms because you chose the right storage place to store your LEGO investments. But now, what are the storage solutions you can use for these storage issues? Well, let's start with the more waterproof one, plastic containers. Now, It's almost, it isn't perfect, but it's almost a completely waterproof and dust-proof solution. For example, unless there aren't any holes, obviously, in the plastic containers, then it keeps out water quite well. And it's very dust-proof too, so dust wouldn't basically go anywhere near the Lego set, and it basically will keep water up to the very top of it. Now, if it somehow does go in the box, you're still unfortunately in a bad place, but because it's almost completely waterproof, plastic containers and waterproof containers in general are simply the best places to store your Lego. But if you don't have that, then try a wardrobe or display case. Now, the reason why is because even though it's not waterproof, it still has relatively good protection from dust and other external factors affecting your Lego investment. For example, maybe there'll be less water coming in simply because the humidity wouldn't go near the storage area, simply because it's quite far deep into the house. And also, even though a wardrobe and display case isn't perfect, it can block a lot of dust simply because oftentimes, say 99% of the time, the doors are going to be closed. So for the rare 1% chance you'll have the door open and a bit of dust will come in, it'll be way more dust proof than having the Lego set in the complete open, say in your living room or your bedroom. Now, another storage solution is simply putting it in a room, or the sets in the room, not near an entrance, such as a bedroom that's nowhere near windows, or in a basement or an attic. And it will actually protect these sets from mainly, reasonably well from dust, but it may not be necessarily waterproof depending on where you have it. And also this entirely depends on your waterproofing in the house that you live in. And because of this, it's not a perfect solution, but still a better solution than just everything else. But do not stack your Lego sets vertically. Now, this is incredibly helpful advice. And the rooms that you place your Lego sets in, like for example, weighing up, say, the wardrobe versus just a room not near the entrance of the house, that wouldn't make as much of the difference nearly as stacking your Lego sets vertically. Here's why. If you do this, the set boxes will crumple on top of each other over time. Now, it's not a fast process. Now, if you stack it on top of each other for a day, nothing's going to happen. But if you do it for a year or 2 years, the box will slowly morph and shape into where the other sitting Lego set box is. And what will happen is the box will slowly get destroyed in front of your eyes. Basically, it'll make the box look worse, which will actually take quite a big hit on the value of your Lego investment. So please, if you're going to display or actually just pack away Lego sets, display them horizontally next to each other. Don't stack Lego sets vertically, line them up horizontally instead, because it will protect the boxes a lot more than if you stack them on top of each other. Also, because on the thinner edges of the Lego box, there's actually a bit more. They've made the cardboard a bit thicker, and because of that, it's slightly thicker and it's more durable. And because of this, you're way better off stacking Lego sets on top of the thin bits of the Lego sets, or the very thin edges of the Lego set, rather than the kind of squishy center of the Lego set. But now, let's answer an important question. Do you open or not open a Lego set? So, should you leave it unboxed, or should you leave it unopened? Well, what happens if you unbox your Lego investment? Well, you can enjoy building the set. That's actually a good thing. But the value of the investment itself will drop massively, simply because you opened it and enjoyed it. And yes, you can still resell it, maybe even for what you purchased the set on. But you're not going to be able to make a massive profit by doing this. Also, you can, and actually, like I said, you can actually even make your money back or even earn some profit simply because a set is doing too well on the investment scene. But you could have instead kept it in its box, and then the value of a set could have been a lot higher. Also, for investing in Lego, you're not actually supposed to open it, and please do not open the Lego set, since the point of buying a Lego investment set is to earn the most profit that you can possibly get in a reasonable time frame. So please do not open your Lego sets. And speaking about unopened Lego sets, you should leave it unopened. Now, the con is that you will need to store the box with the bags and the pieces of Lego inside of it somewhere for a few years, but this shouldn't be too much of an issue. Also, the value of a set, which actually kind of not conflicts, but it actually, well, justifies you having to store the box for a few years, is the value of a set will be the highest possible if you keep it in pristine condition if you leave it unopened, which will lead to the highest profit you can possibly get with the way that you have treated your Lego set. And this is the way you're supposed to invest in Lego. You're supposed to invest in Lego by keeping the box closed and then selling it as a sealed set for someone to then open themselves in a few years down the track from when you first bought the set. But now, how long do you need to hold on to the investment sets? Well, you need to either sell the set if it's been retired for after 2 years, or you need to sell it after the set's value has doubled. Now, you can obviously wait more, but this is the minimum. The bare minimum is you should sell it at least after the set has been retired for 2 years, or sell it after the set's value has doubled. So you're either able to get rid of the investment quickly, because you've waited the longest time that you possibly had the patience for, or you were able to sell it as soon as it became profitable too, simply because you could. But if you have to wait, at least wait to 2 years, since it will increase in price, and after that, if you don't feel like waiting anymore, then you can sell it. But where should you sell the Lego investment? Well, there are a few places that you can sell these sorts of things: Bricklink, eBay, Amazon, and your online local marketplace. So let's start with Bricklink. Now, Bricklink has a no sign up fee, so basically it's free to use. Now, it's free to advertise, so you don't have to pay to start using Bricklink. You can just start by using it. But when you actually sell a Lego set, the sales fee that Bricklink take is from 3 to 5% of the total sale of the product. And because of this, let's say you sell a $100 Lego set, Bricklink will take $3 to $5 simply because you're using their online resources to sell the set. And you can actually add a fee for shipping. So if you want to sell it for $100, but you don't want to deal with shipping, you can add maybe say a $5.40 shipping cost or shipping fee for anyone that you want it to ship to. If it's express, then you say maybe charge $20, but you can change the shipping fee on Bricklink, which is actually good. Also, there are multiple ways you can pay with Bricklink, which is actually quite unique. You can do anything from credit card to a bank transfer to PayPal. Basically, you can get your money however you want to get your money. And finally, the site is mainly known by Lego enthusiasts. If you have your random mum searching for a Lego set to buy for their kid, they're not going to look at Bricklink. And the reason why is because it's not really known to people. Instead, they'll probably choose something like eBay, or if they're wanting to get something new, Kmart or Big W, depending on for Australia, or say Walmart or Target for the US, simply because they're wanting to get something the easiest way possible, and the only people who do shop on Bricklink are those who know it. And those who know Bricklink are more than likely going to be Lego enthusiasts. Now with eBay, there is again no sign up fee, but the sales fee is 11% of the total sale. So let's look at the same $100 set that you're selling. Instead of you having to give away $3 to $5, you'd actually have to give up $11 to eBay so that you could use their services. Also, you can still add a fee for shipping, and you can add it to whatever you want it to be. So if you want to charge $50 for shipping, even though it may cost you $5, you can. And you can be very flexible with the way that you manipulate your shipping costs. And payment through eBay, well, there's actually only one way it goes. So the payment is actually processed by eBay themselves, but then after the sale has been actually processed, the money goes straight to your bank account. So your bank account is linked to eBay, but the payment is dealt through eBay. So if something goes wrong, you have eBay as a middleman instead of it being a direct payment. Also, you have a much wider range of buyers, simply because eBay is an online e-commerce site where lots of people buy lots of things. It's not a Lego place. You can sell Lego, but that's not the only thing sold here. Everything's sold here, both from big companies, even to local people or people wanting to sell maybe a $5, I don't know, cake or something, I don't know. But you can basically sell anything on eBay that obviously is illegal. But you have a wider range of buyers on eBay simply because it's more known and it's just a generic e-commerce site. And you can actually even auction the set if you want to sell it quickly. So let's say you want to sell it and ship it by, say, next Sunday, and if you're on a Monday, you can auction it. Well, actually, you can't do it from that sort of length, but let's say you want to auction it on one Thursday, make sure it ends on the next Thursday, so then you can ship it off to the seller, well, the customer, by Sunday. You can do it. So if you want to quickly get rid of inventory, maybe not making the most profit, you can auction it on eBay, still making quite a bit of money. Also, with Amazon, you actually have to pay a $1 fee for using Amazon. It's actually not a sign-up fee, but it's a fee you have to pay every time you use Amazon. And you have to pay an 11% fee from the total sale. So let's look at that $100 set again. You would pay 11% of the total sale of a set, which is, in this case, $89, so which is $11. So this Amazon gets $11, but they also get another $1 because you're using their services. So it's actually a 12% fee, or it's a $12 fee when you're really looking at it. Also, you or Amazon can actually arrange shipping to the customer. Amazon actually makes it really easy to deal with shipping the set because you can just ship the inventory to Amazon and then they can deal with the shipping. And this is included, I think, with the $1 fee. And payment on Amazon works very similarly to eBay. You link up your bank account with Amazon, then once the payment has been processed, the money will go to Amazon, and then Amazon will give it to you. Also, there are yet again a wider range of buyers on Amazon, simply because Amazon is another massive e-commerce store which sells everything. But it's actually built for more mass scale selling. Amazon isn't really the best sort of online marketplace, if you will, to sell maybe only 5 Lego sets a year. If you're thinking of doing that, you're better off using eBay or Bricklink, simply because of the way their systems are built. But Amazon is really good if you're planning on selling 500 sets a year. Basically, if you're wanting to do things en masse, you cannot beat Amazon. And this holds true for Lego investing too. But now, let's move on to your local online marketplace. Now, the online marketplace, depending on which online marketplace you use, can range from no fees to a large amount of fees. It just depends on who you use. Also, multiple payment methods can actually be accepted, including credit cards, PayPal, and cash, depending on which online marketplace you use. Also, there are a wider range of buyers, but the important thing to note is you'll mainly get a wider range of buyers from your region. For example, I live in Australia. I wouldn't get, for example, a buyer from the US simply because they wouldn't know about the local online marketplace that we have here. And it works like that for everywhere. So if you're wanting to ship it off to a local buyer, then using one of these online marketplaces such as, I believe, Craigslist, or in Australia, Gumtree, there's also Mercari as well, all those sorts of places, online marketplaces you can use to sell your products to. Also, depending on the marketplace, so for example with Gumtree in Australia, you can actually let the customer pick up from the Lego set from your location, and you can actually negotiate on price. But again, this isn't really the best for Lego investing, because the platform that I'm talking about here, you can sell cars, you can sell machinery, and you're much better off buying machinery or cars from this website than Lego. Like for Lego, you're better off using either eBay or Bricklink, in my opinion. And also, you may need to ship it to the customer if you can't actually arrange pickup. And the thing to know about this is you have to deal with all the fees of shipping too. So you'll have to, and you may not be able to even advertise the fees depending on which marketplace you use. So you'll have to actually organize or incorporate the shipping fees within the sale price of the product. And that is it. Now, let me know what your thoughts are down below on this. And let me know down below if this video was helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. Hope you guys have a brilliant day and keep building.